I think The Bounty Hunter is probably one of my favourite Jennifer Aniston films. That's not necessarily because it's the best of her films, but this was the first of her films that I remember watching the year it came out, and that's pretty exciting. Now, this is an action comedy. Action films are never really my kind of thing, comedies definitely are. So this could have gone either way for me, but I actually did enjoy it. And this was released in 2010, directed by Tennant, with a screenplay by Sarah Thorp, and alongside Aniston we have Gerard Butler. And the description from IMDb is as follows. A bounty hunter learns that his next target is his ex-wife, a reporter working on a murder cover-up. Soon after the reunion, the always-at-odds duo find themselves on a run-for-their-lives adventure. So these exes end up kind of having to come together as it says, go on the run. Obviously, there is a lot of tension with their relationship, and that gives us a lot of comedy. I think they both develop quite well. The characters themselves go on a pretty reasonable journey, and I think the narrative itself is quite interesting. It's quite fast-paced. It's not as fast as a lot of action films. We have time to breathe and enjoy the comedic moments. The script's pretty good. I quite like the dialogue, and I like Aniston's hair. I know that's a superficial thing, but Aniston's hair seems to be the talking point of every one of her films. But her acting in this is, of course, great, and her chemistry on screen with Gerard Butler I particularly enjoyed. I think the casting there works very well for the two characters, Milo and Nicole. I can't really fault it. It's not my favourite film ever, and it's probably not my favourite Jennifer Aniston film. I'm not sure what would be, but it will always hold a special place in my heart because, as I said, it was the first one that I watched the year it was released. Until this point, I'd been playing catch-up. So it's pretty decent. For me, as somebody who doesn't like action films, I think it's got the right amount of action and comedy for it to be still enjoyable. It's not actually her most well received. It's got 4.6 out of 10 on IMDb with a Metascore of 22. And neither of those are particularly amazing, but I think it's better than that. It's got a little bit more meat to it than a standard rom-com. It's got a little bit more humour to it than your average action film. So if you are comfortable with the blend of genres there, I think you'll quite like it. Definitely, if you're an Aniston fan or a fan of Gerard Butler, you'll be able to get something out of it. Rated 12A, so not too intense. Pretty fun. A little unpredictable, in a good way. And one that I'm happy to recommend.